Hi, you guys. Let me get my drink. Hello. Can you guys hear me good? How is everyone? Oh, good. Hopefully that's off. Hi, Julie Delk, Shirley Weimer, Tennessee Mountain High, Truth Seeker, Amanda Elizabeth, Brianna. Yeah, I'm having a good day. They came and fixed the pipes under my kitchen sink. And you know what it was? He thought it was like a potato or something, a small potato like that, like peeled looking or something. It was grease. It was grease from my, when I fried burgers or something. Now, granted, it took years to build that up um, because I've been here for 18 years in this apartment, 6 in another building. So 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. But still, I touched it to see what it was, and it was greasy, but it was hard. Yeah, I know. So that's what was clogging it. All right. Hi, Rebel. Hi, everybody. So it's already 7 here, and I like to do my lives earlier. So I do them earlier now. But I'll read a copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purpose such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachings, scholarship, and research. And in this You Can Be Happy No Matter What book by Richard Carlson, PhD, we are finally on the 5th principle. Yeah. Okay, thanks for stopping by. Thank you. So, the principle of the present moment. This is what we're on. All right. Hi to everybody. So, the principle of the present moment, chapter 5. Okay. Much has been said about living in the moment. Virtually every spiritual teacher throughout history has suggested this solution. In fact, this may be one of the oldest and wisest pieces of advice for living a happier life. Yet, despite all the emphasis on this advice, very few people seem able to implement this critical principle in their daily lives. I believe this seemingly simple concept is so elusive because the untrained mind is much like a puppy. It wanders off without realizing where it's going. Before long, the puppy, like our thoughts, gets away from us. Of the 5 principles discussed in this book, this is the one your therapist is least likely to have shared with you. After all, much of therapy is spent discussing your childhood and other issues surrounding your past. And while you can certainly gain some insight into your present life by understanding your past, doing so is almost always taken to excess. Keeping your attention riveted to the past or future can become an insidious habit that's difficult to break. It's hard for me to break. I'm always thinking pretty much into the future, not so much the past. I don't dwell on the past without realizing they are doing so, and certainly with no intended harm. If you've ever been in therapy, you are undoubtedly familiar with the practice of encouraging your client to re-experience the past. Therapists prompt clients, sometimes harshly, to focus on, think about, and most frequently discuss in great detail the past. This is done instead of teaching clients how to bring their attention back to the here and now, the only way to experience true happiness. In addition to focusing on the past, clients are encouraged to get in touch with the negative feelings that accompany their negative thoughts of the past. So in chapter 1, we explored the relationship between thought and feeling. The idea that every negative feeling is a direct result of thought. Thus, the notion that it's a good idea to spend considerable time in the past, intentionally or otherwise, is very questionable. Doing so guarantees a great deal of negative feeling, which only reinforces that there really is something of substance to be concerned about, thus justifying your negativity and feelings of victimization. Stirring up negativity keeps you tied to your learned thought system and your habitual ways of thinking, and greatly reduces your ability to experience and access your wisdom. When your attention is mired in the past or future, it's predictable that your quality of life will diminish instead of improve. On the other hand, when your attention is primarily in the present moment, the bulk of your experience comes from a place of wisdom rather than reactivity. Although you will feel content when you focus on the present moment, you won't repress or deny anything that's truly relevant. The thoughts and memories you need to grow as a person, even the painful ones, will surface at the appropriate time when you have the ability to handle them and the inner resources to know what to do with the information you receive. Wisdom is like a built-in emotional monitor. It helps you keep your bearings and your perspective. It directs you toward happiness without encouraging you to pretend that things are different than they actually are. Wisdom does allow for negativity, but only when it's necessary and appropriate, a far cry from the negativity typically generated in a therapy session. The only way to experience genuine and lasting contentment, satisfaction, and happiness is to learn to live your life in the present moment. Regardless of your past experiences, the specifics of your current circumstances, how much you analyze your past, or speculate about your future, you will never be happy until you learn to live in the present moment. Hi, Jo Marie. Hi, everybody. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by. Okay. A mind that is out of the moment is fertile ground for worry, anxiety, regret, and guilt. This doesn't mean that every moment of your life should or ever will be spent focused in this moment, only that it is important that this occurs more often than not. Okay. Trying to get comfortable. Okay. Dr. Wayne Dyer, he died of cancer. Does anyone know? Was it 5 years ago or so? Thank you. Yeah, it's I have to get close to the light so you can see that it is red. You know what I mean? See, it is red. It's a deep auburn. It's Ferraria, which is $13 now. It used to be $9.99. Now it's 13 at the store. And I get the number 56 or 57. I thought it was 56. It might be 57. But anyway, it's Cherry Crush, like an auburn. She has real red hair. It's long on it. Thank you. So Dr. Wade Dyer, who I've watched before on PBS and stuff. Oh, before I forget, I'll put my little ticker up for anybody that wants to help me along in life with the many cats and kittens that I have. I think what I'm going to do, though, is get some of this texturized. So it's not laying so flat. She pulls out the ends and just snips the ends. And it'll give it a little like poof kind of thing, like a little fluff, like a little, you know, like it'll look like it has curl, but it doesn't type thing. So Dr. Wade Dyer, who was kind enough to write the foreword to this book. Yeah, I read that earlier. Remember, you guys? Try not to chop my head off when I sit here against this real comfortable wedge. He demonstrates the importance of living in the moment with a wonderful and powerful story. He suggests imagining yourself on a boat in the ocean and asking yourself 3 very important questions. The first, what is the wake? I don't remember this. I don't remember reading this. The wake, of course, is the trail of water left behind as you move forward. The second question, what powers the boat? The answer here is that the present moment energy of the engine is the power that makes the boat move. Not yesterday's energy, not tomorrow's, but the energy generated in the present moment. Finally, ask yourself, can the wake power the boat? The obvious answer here is an absolute no. The wake is powerless. It was created by past energy and has no power in this moment. You see nothing more than the trail. How this story applies to your life is fairly obvious, but extremely important in understanding the pursuit of your happiness and your dreams. Many people live as if the past is the power running their lives. The truth, however, is just like the wake of a boat, your past is powerless. It's certainly true that what happened in your past and the challenges you faced in your childhood did happen, and you did have to confront those challenges. It's also true that what happened in your past contributed to the way you see life today. However, that's where its relevance ends. Your past, as it actually exists today, is nothing more than the thoughts you have about it. Nothing more, nothing less. In reality, your past is all thought, simple memory. This doesn't diminish your past or suggest that you should pretend it didn't occur exactly as it did. Seeing your past is nothing more than harmless memory. Allows you to keep your attention in this moment. by freeing you from the compulsion to follow each train of thought that enters your mind. When you understand memory for what it really is, simple, harmless thoughts passing through your mind, rather than a present reality that must be analyzed and battled against, it's far easier to dismiss the hundreds of future and past oriented thoughts that run through your mind every day. Understanding the harmless nature of your thinking reminds you, as I suggested in Principle 1, that it isn't something that happens to you, but rather something that you create from the inside out. Hi, Sunflower Darkness. Hi, Lisa S. Hi, Nature Sounds. Hi, everyone. Thanks for hopping in. Okay, once you see your thinking as an ability that can work for you or against you at any given moment, you'll be less frightened and bothered by your thoughts. You'll keep them in perspective. As thoughts enter your consciousness, you'll have a choice. You can look at them and respond, or simply let them go. It's up to you. When you empower yourself in this way, you'll become far less reactive, and it will become much easier to remain in the present moment. Your mind won't view the specifics of your thoughts as front page news. When your thoughts are distanced from the present moment, whether you are thinking of your childhood or something that occurred earlier this morning, you are actually recreating your past through your thinking. As long as you are aware that you produce your thoughts, that you are the thinker, you can avoid feeling sad, angry, or victimized by bringing your attention back to the present. You won't assume, as many do, that if a thought appears in your mind, it must have done so for a really important reason. I need to shut a door. I'll be right back. All right. And now that it has, you're stuck with it. Instead, you'll remember that thoughts of the past are nothing more than actively engaged memories. And memories, much like dreams, are simply thoughts running through your mind. You need not be concerned. The only way a thought or series of thoughts can harm you is if you give them significance. If you don't, they have no power to hurt you. And as long as you remember that your thoughts have no power to hurt you without your consent, you will retain power over your life rather than feeling victimized or defeated by the thoughts that stream through your mind. You'll be able to keep them in perspective. As thoughts enter your consciousness, you'll decide whether to pay attention to them, take them seriously, and respond accordingly, or simply dismiss them and go on with your day. The destructive effects of thought happens only when we forget that our thinking is simply a function of our consciousness, an ability that we human beings have that doesn't need to be blown out of proportion. When we keep this bit of wisdom in mind, we realize that it's our thinking, not our circumstances, that determines how we feel. This gives us the confidence to live in the moment by removing the fear that we must pay such careful attention to our own thinking, or else. Others may have experienced a nearly identical set of circumstances as you, and they may feel depressed and resentful about their plight, while you feel quite content. Obviously, the difference is how you feel won't have anything to do with who is better off, but will be determined by who more clearly understands the nature of thinking and who takes it more in stride. Understanding our thinking in this way allows us to live more of our life in the present moment by allowing us to become far less preoccupied with our thinking. When our mind spins forward toward worries and concerns, or backward toward regrets and past hurts, we can actively observe our mind and make gentle mental adjustments, suggesting to ourselves that we bring our attention back to the present. We can say to ourselves, "Whoops, there I go again," or something else that keeps our thinking in perspective, reminding us that we just need to slowly bring our attention back to this moment to bring back a feeling of contentment. In Principle 4, we learned that our feelings tell us with absolute accuracy when our thinking is dysfunctional or when it's affecting us in a negative way. Similarly, our feelings are extremely helpful in detecting when our mind has slipped from the present moment. It's pretty likely, for example, that when we are feeling bothered, annoyed, or frustrated, that our thinking has somehow wandered from the present. The next time you're stressed or frustrated, take a quick, honest look at where your thoughts are. Almost certainly you'll be thinking about all you have to do in the future, or everything you did earlier in the day, or of something unpleasant that happened or may happen tomorrow. Rarely, when you are upset, will your thoughts be centered in the present. Most of the time, the present moment is quite peaceful. To explore this idea, try this simple exercise. Okay, this is the exercise. Stop reading for a moment and simply observe where you are and what you're doing. You're reading a book of your own choosing. You're either sitting or lying down. Hopefully you're comfortable. Now imagine your life right now without thinking for the moment of what's wrong or what's lacking. You're just right where you are, reading. Now observe what happens when you inject a few thoughts about all you still have to do today or tomorrow. Watch what happens as you think about a few problems and complications. Bring to mind a few serious issues. By now, your peace of mind has been disrupted by your own thinking. The more you continue with your injection of future or past concerns, the more upset and frustrated you will become. The short exercise can remind you of how powerful your thinking really is. Your thoughts can take you virtually instantly from a state of calm in the present moment into a state of turmoil without any actual changes taking place. The solution to this mental sabotage is to become aware and conscious of your mind spinning forward toward problems, deadlines, issues, or backward toward reliving old wounds or frustrations. You need not pretend that the issues aren't or weren't there. You only need to be aware when your thinking is engaged in this mental dynamic. Simply become aware. You can then remind yourself to guide your thoughts back to the present when they are too caught up in the problem. After a while, you'll begin to sense that most of life that which exists outside this moment is simply a part of your imagination and thinking. Learning to live in the moment is sort of like getting behind the wheel of a car for the first time. All of a sudden, you're in charge of where the vehicle will take you. As you become more proficient at living in the moment, you'll be able to decide moment to moment what your experience of life will be. Gee, there's not much more. Okay. How is everyone? Tina, is Morbid off YouTube? Sunflower's asking. No, he was just on yesterday. He's under Sir Morbid X. He's under Sir Morbid and a large X. Yeah. I caught a little bit of his live. I didn't go and chat or anything. Hi, Stardust. Hi, everybody. Brianna's asking where Ryan is. I don't know. Hi, Lisa S. I don't know. Truth Seeker, you still been sick with bad headaches? That's no good. Oh, I love this little table, but it's kind of wobbly. Is my makeup the same? You see something. This always has. Yeah, it's got the same peach hue. It's just. I hope I have enough on this side, like that one. I don't know. I think I need to fix it. Brianna, what's your favorite holiday? Definitely not Halloween. It's just not. Because it's kind of scary and it means other things for other demonic kind of situations, right? So, Easter's nice. It's not my favorite. Valentine's Day is nice, if you have a boyfriend or a husband and they're, kind of romantic. If they're not, Valentine's Day isn't even that much fun. You know what I mean? For some people. Christmas is nice, but I don't know. Like, I'm with my kids and it's always nice. It's quite simple. Simple dinner with the four of us and some gifts, but I wouldn't say it's my favorite. I think I like Thanksgiving almost more than Christmas, which sounds kind of odd probably, but um, because it's the whole similar thing with Christmas. Christmas is like eating with your family and that kind of thing, which, they live far away. Christmas is more of gifts and giving. So when they're not around, it's not really any harder for me because I'm so used to it. It's been 30 some years or 40. I haven't had a Christmas with my mother since I 20? I think I was 20 years old. Not kidding. In Vermont. And then she lived in Florida and she lived in New York, and I visited those places, but only once, and it wasn't during the holidays. So, Mother's Day, I always send my mom a card, sometimes a little gift, but always, always a card. So that's always kind of nice. St. Patty's Day used to be fun in my 20s, but I was drinking green beer and going to the bars, So I would dare say in the past that was my favorite. It was when I was younger. But maybe I don't really even have a favorite. Maybe Thanksgiving. Because I like the fall, Hi, everyone. Hi, Sean B. You like Christmas because of the presents, says Brianna. Yeah, the lighting. Stardust says the lighting. What? Are you talking about my lighting? Oh, probably in regards to my makeup not being even. Then I have this lamp on over here. I'm going to turn it off really quick and see what happens. Now that might be too dark. I guess it's okay. I don't know. All right. So, yeah, no, I'll go. It says pay attention to your feelings when you're living or trying to be in the present moment. So I'll touch upon that stuff tomorrow because it's a good another 3.5 pages or something. So, now for what, a little over a week or 10 or something, I've been reading out of this Pebbles in the Pond, Living with Chronic Neurobiological Disorders. And I'm learning quite a bit. And there's so much on schizophrenia, you guys, that I'm still on it. I'm still on the topic. So I'm on schizophrenia is a brain disease. I've covered the different hemispheres of the brain, different psychiatric disorders, psychosis compared to a psychotic episode. And now we're on to schizophrenia. And then with substance abuse, there can be different psychotic episodes, things like that. But it says thanks to a variety of imaging techniques, researchers are now able to watch the brain as it processes thoughts, emotions, So rude. The other night it was 6 knocks. He's on the phone with his dad. The other night it's 4? The other night it's 3. Some nights it's 8 or 9. You know why he does it? Because he knows he'll have my attention because I'm busy and I'm with you guys and I'm trying to talk to you. So he knows if he knocks, he'll get his question answered. And they're questions about selling his bike. I'm like, okay, work it out with your dad, sell your bike. I don't care. He didn't have to tell me just now. I'm exasperated. I'm so sick of this. Rude, disrespectful, has no boundaries. Good grief. So that's where I was again. So researchers are now I'm trying to get back into the gosh darn moment, aren't I? Researchers are now able to watch the brain as it processes thoughts, emotions, and sensory stimuli. Okay, in a CAT scan, okay, studies have reported increased instances of the following abnormalities in the brains of some people with schizophrenia: enlargement of the lateral ventricles or the third ventricle, increased markings on the surface of the brain, suggesting loss of tissue, atrophy of part of the cerebellum, differences in brain density, an abnormal brain asymmetry. Asymmetry? I know what it means. ASYMMETRY. Asymmetry. And that's in a CAT scan. And MRI studies have found increased thickening of the corpus callosum and abnormalities in the globus pallidus. Good grief. I remember seeing a picture of the corpus callosum back here. But it was way in the beginning where I there it is. The corpus callosum is like in the middle of the brain. See it? It's the dark. There's the word corpus callosum, and it's that dark part. So it's up in the middle of the brain. There's a thickening to that in some people with yeah. So there was someone in my chat named Toby Mickle, Mickel, like that, I'm pretty sure. And yesterday, and they said that he or she's dealing with things with their son that's looking like schizophrenia. Thinks people are after him. He thinks he's been poisoned. He thinks their son's 18. And a lot of the onset of these psychiatric disorders, you guys, is adolescence. But I found out that children can get schizophrenia. I didn't know that. I thought it was like an adult or adolescent thing. Okay, so microscopic pathology studies have found increased cell loss in parts of the limbic system and shrinking of the limbic temporal structures. The hippocampal formation, amygdala, and parahippocampal gyrus. Is it gyrus? Probably gyrus. And the inner pallidal segment. Neurochemistry studies have confirmed an excessive number of dopamine receptors in the limbic system and basal ganglia in brains of people with schizophrenia, including individuals who have never taken antipsychotic medications. Regional cerebral blood, RCB, flow studies have shown overactivation of the left hemisphere and decreased uptake of glucose in regions of the frontal lobe. Wow. Brain electrical activity mapping suggests abnormalities in the frontal lobe and left hemisphere. Neurological studies show that individuals with schizophrenia are more likely to show abnormal transient grasp reflex, impaired gag reflex, double simultaneous stimulation, agraphesthesia, inability to identify words being written on parts of the body, and confusion about the left and right sides of the body. Studies also show abnormalities in the auditory tract that controls balance and altered pain threshold. The limbic system and its connections are primarily affected. The limbic system or limbic lobe is the gate through which all incoming stimuli must pass. Its job is to pass information along to other parts of the brain. Therefore, it has direct connections to all other parts of the body. Torrey cites the following reasons for concluding that the limbic system is involved in schizophrenia. Known abnormalities in the limbic system of human beings have been shown to result in significant changes in emotion, inappropriate behavior, impaired screening of visual stimuli, distorted perception, illusions, hallucinations, depersonalization, paranoid ideations, and catatonic behaviors. Many of the structural changes found in the brains of individuals with schizophrenia have been found in the limbic system or in areas of the brain closely connected with it. And I think, if I remember right, that's like on the side here. It often runs in families. I touched upon this yesterday a little bit. It has long been known that individuals diagnosed with schizophrenia have a higher incidence of having a family member who is also diagnosed with the disorder. First-degree relatives of an individual with schizophrenia have about a 10% chance of also having the disorder. And then this this doctor says that some cases of schizophrenia may arise from an infectious agent, such as a virus, that could be transferred from mother or father to child either before or after birth. Wow. The brain damage may occur very early. Hey, hi, Raider. I'm reading about schizophrenia. Does your brother have that? I think he does, right? I think that's what you said he had, I think. Although the onset of schizophrenia is usually thought to be in adolescence or early adulthood, there is some evidence that suggests that the propensity to develop the disorder has been present much longer. Some of the evidence supporting the conclusion that the brain damage that produces schizophrenia occurs early in life includes some studies show an increased rate of physical anomalies in people who develop schizophrenia, such as unusual finger and palm print patterns, low set ears, wide set eyes, and the single transverse palmar crease. Some studies show increased rates of pregnancy and birth complications. A disproportionate number of people with schizophrenia are born during the late winter and early spring months, although it is not known whether this is due to nutritional factors, infectious agents, or other environmental factors that are seasonal. Okay, these are theories about the cause of schizophrenia. No definitive cause has been found for schizophrenia, as is the case in some other illnesses. Unfortunately, we can't tell people who want to ensure their child doesn't develop schizophrenia, don't do blank. Unlike fetal alcohol syndrome, which is known to be caused by the use of alcohol during pregnancy, there is no substance that has been identified as causing schizophrenia. Researchers have identified a number of possible causes that individually or in combination may result in the disorder. However, we really don't know why some people get schizophrenia and other people don't. Here are some theories proposed. Genetic theories. No specific gene or combination of genes has been found to code for schizophrenia, and the patterns for dominant and recessive inheritance don't fit what is known about the disorder. While many experts on schizophrenia continue to believe that genetics plays some role in the illness, they now suspect that the illness itself is not inherited. Instead, individuals inherit the predisposition to respond to certain environmental factors in specific ways, eventually leading them to develop schizophrenia. Supporting this theory are studies that indicate an increased prevalence rate of schizophrenia among relatives of individuals known to have the disorder. However, studies of twins reveal that even when relatives share essentially identical genetic makeups, as is the case with identical or monozygotic twins, the prevalence rate is significantly lower than 100%, as can be seen. Wow. So, Raider. Yes, Tina, my little brother has some of it. If you want to, when I'm done reading some of this, I got to turn the lamp back on. It's getting too dark. If you'd like to come up, you're welcome to. If you want to share a little more on, share a little more on, what your younger brother's going through. I mean, if you want to, you've talked about it before, or tell us how he's doing, or maybe you could tell us how he got diagnosed with it. Was it a CAT scan, an MRI, or whatever? If you want to. I don't want you to, there's no pressure, but if you're around. Now, there's also biochemical theories, viral theories, immunological theories, developmental theories, stress theories. So what I'm going to do is just read 2 more pages, and that's it. And see if you're still here, Raider, and see if you'd like to come up. And I'll just touch upon what these theories are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. And then I just read the genetic theory. So there's 6. Okay. These theories describe the mechanism that is malfunctioning. This is the biochemical theories, but don't answer the question of how the mechanism came to malfunction in the first place. An overabundance of dopamine is known to produce many of the symptoms associated with schizophrenia. Research finding an excess of dopamine receptors in the limbic system and basal ganglia, which I believe is up here in the cerebral cortex. Because if you have extra hormone there, that's how people get obsessive compulsive disorder, which my son has and has had since he was 11. Then there's viral theories. The idea that a virus is what, maybe Raider, if you're still in chat, you could just, so I don't put the link in for nothing or I'm too hopeful that you'll come up. If you can't make it, maybe you could let me know here. Just say, no, I'm leaving or whatever, if you wouldn't mind. Viral theories. You can hear the kids out there. Can you guys hear them playing after school? It's only 8 here. And Raiders in California, so it's only 8 there. Anyway, the idea that a virus is responsible for schizophrenia has been of interest to researchers in part because of the similarity of symptoms produced by schizophrenia and symptoms of illnesses known to have a viral cause, such as encephalitis. In addition, it is known that viruses attack specific areas of the brain without touching other areas, and that they are able to lie dormant or not produce noticeable symptoms for many years. It is also known that some viruses, such as the virus that causes German measles, can cause damage at certain stages of fetal development, but may produce no damage at other stages of development. Some viruses are known to alter neurotransmitters. Some studies of the 1956 to 1957 worldwide epidemic of influenza have found higher than usual rates of schizophrenia. Wow, really? Among individuals who were in the second trimester of development at the time of the epidemic? The brain undergoes much development during this time, including a migration of some cells from the temporal lobe to the frontal lobe. In addition, this theory seems to fit much of what is known about schizophrenia, such as the increased incidence rate among people born in late winter or early spring, the minor physical anomalies that occurred during fetal development, and the changes in brain structure. Even the fact that the limbic system is involved can be explained by the viral theory, since several viruses are known to specifically attack that area of the brain. However, the research has not been consistent, and many questions still remain. Oh, you're watching the Scooby-Doo show? Your hubby says you've been online too much, Truth Seeker? Well, hi, Artsy. Immunological theories. Some researchers theorize that individuals develop anti-brain antibodies, which attack and destroy brain cells, or anti-nuclear antibodies, which attack the cell nucleus. However, the research has been contradictory. What is known is that individuals with schizophrenia have a reduced response to histamine, suggesting an impaired autoimmune system. Wow. Developmental theories. These theories are less concerned with the mechanism by which the symptoms of schizophrenia are produced than with the specific site and timing where theorized brain damage occurs. The brain develops over a prolonged period of time and is vulnerable to injury throughout the developmental process, although the amount and type of damage produced varies according to the stage of brain development in which the damage occurs. According to developmental theories, one or more factors may cause brain injury, leading to schizophrenia at a later date. These factors include heredity, infection, exposure to particular medications or immunizations, environmental toxins such as lead or pesticides, birth trauma, malnutrition, anoxia, which is lack of oxygen, immunological disorders, metabolic disorders, or maternal use of alcohol or street drugs. Wow. Stress theories. Contrary to the general public belief that schizophrenia results from stressful life events, researchers have found that individuals who develop schizophrenia do not have higher levels of stressful events that act as triggers immediately prior to developing the illness. There is some evidence that suggests that individuals with schizophrenia handle stress differently than those who do not have the disorder, and may find some events very stressful that others might find only mildly or moderately stressful. In addition, there is some research suggesting that individuals with schizophrenia whose primary relationships are characterized by high levels of emotional stress, such as criticism or negativity, experience more severe symptoms. While stress can produce short-term psychotic symptoms, these tend to remit completely within a short time. However, although stress doesn't cause schizophrenia, it does make existing symptoms more severe, suggesting the need to eliminate as much stress from one's daily life as one can. Wow. So there is a doctor named Alexander Hyde, and this is his description of the cause. And I just skimmed it, and it's kind of interesting. And he's written a book called Living with Schizophrenia, A Guide for Patients and Their Families by Alexander Hyde. This is in his book. The basic cause is an organic, structural, chemical disorder of the brain cells. Schizophrenia is a disorder of the brain in the same way that diabetes is a disorder of the pancreas. Like persons with diabetes whose condition worsens when they stray from the proper regimen, people with schizophrenia feel ill when their good health habits deteriorate. Inadequate sleep, poor eating habits, ingestion of coffee and alcohol, and lack of exercise cause the schizophrenic condition to worsen. Continued intense emotional stress can also overstimulate the person with schizophrenia with adverse effects. In light of what we know about schizophrenia, it is quite possible, if not probable, that it is not a question of finding the cause, but of finding the causes that produce the symptoms of schizophrenia. Just as there are several distinct types of the illness, there may be a number of causes that alone or in combination with each other may result in the development of schizophrenia. Wow. You know, there's a lot of help out there, you guys. You've had a headache for 2 days, Truth Seeker? When I get one, I have to take a couple Tylenol. Oh, but I haven't been sleeping on my ergonomic pillow, and I'm gonna start tonight. I've been puffing up the other one, and initially like the way I feel, but then when I wake up, I'm all stiff and I just feel horrible, like horrible. So these are 14 principles for the relatives to cope with schizophrenia. In Australia, Ken Alexander, PhD, okay, doctor, developed Understanding and Coping with Schizophrenia, a course that is presented by relatives for relatives through the Schizophrenia Fellowship of Victoria. We think these principles from Alexander's course are highly appropriate for families struggling with schizophrenia. So this is from Australia. And I have Lulu in here now and then, and about 3 other women from Australia. In fact, Julie Delk, who used to be Killer Duck, who was in here earlier now under a different name. I can't quite remember. She's from Australia. Realize that schizophrenia is not rare. It may seem to be, but that's because it's not talked about. Number 2, get to know as much as possible, as soon as possible, about schizophrenia, its cause, its course, and its outcome. Number 3, never become a moth around the flame of self-blame. It can destroy your chance of coping forever. It can destroy you. Free yourself with the modern knowledge that schizophrenia is not caused by the relatives. Seek helpers who are effective. Identify them by their compassionate natures and their ability to provide emotional support in sensitively presented educational programs on coping, either directly or by referral. Accept that with an illness as complicated as schizophrenia, the promptings of our natural instincts are not a reliable guide to coping and caring. We, the relatives, do need training. Join an appropriate self-help group. I used to be with NAMI. Well, I still am, but twice. I went on their Zoom and shared my story and this and that. And I suppose I could do it in here, but I'm just not sure if I have enough privacy. You know, get to know the origins of the pressures, the ever-increasing pressures to which we, the relatives, are subject. Pay great attention to the needs of the other family members. Take heed that unlimited, unconditional self-sacrifice on behalf of someone with schizophrenia is fatal to effective caring and coping. What? I got to read that again to get it. Take heed, take notice that unlimited, unconditional self-sacrifice on behalf of someone with schizophrenia is fatal to effective caring and coping. Okay, that makes sense. Be aware that spending massive amounts of time with the person who has schizophrenia can make matters worse. Wow. Maintain and establish friendships, activities, and hobbies, particularly those that take you outside of the home. Set your sights on maximum independence for your relative and for yourself. Don't be surprised to discover that in the end, it is the ability to change, to look at things differently, that distinguishes relatives who cope from those who do not. And then finally, remember, this is for the, to possibly help the families of someone that has schizophrenia. Take very great care of yourself. Now, supposedly my son, like I was saying yesterday, has not been diagnosed with that. But I have been told by a psychiatrist that he has schizoaffective disorder. And that just happened the end of last year. So I covered psychotic disorders already, and I'm not going to read it again. Delusional disorders, all the different types of delusional disorders, erotomanic, grandiose, jealous, persecutory, somatic, mixed type, unspecified type. Then we got the schizophreniform disorder. The duration of the disorder is active and residual phases is at least once a month, at least 1 month, but less than 6 months. Okay, and then I've already covered schizophrenia. And we have the paranoid type, the catatonic type, the disorganized type, the undifferentiated type, and the residual type. There's 5 types of schizophrenia. I covered that yesterday. Then there's schizoaffective disorder. I covered this. It says, though, on the bottom here, during an uninterrupted period of the illness, the symptoms of a major depressive episode, including depressed mood, a manic episode, or a mixed episode, have existed concurrently with the symptoms that meet the criterion for schizophrenia. During the same episode, delusions or hallucinations have been present for at least a 2-week period of time, while prominent mood symptoms have been absent. That's actually true. There'll be days and days he'll really be okay, his mood will be good. But he's still got like the out there beliefs and whatnot. The criteria for a mood episode are met for a substantial portion of time during the active and residual phases of the illness. Yeah, he's been dealing with depression with these things now for 9 years. The illness does not arise due to a general medical condition or as a result of using a medication or substance of abuse. That's true too. That is true. Schizoaffective disorder is identified as a bipolar type when the mood disturbance includes a manic episode, a mixed episode, and or either a manic or mixed episode and a major depressive episode. If the mood disturbance consists of only major depressive episodes, the specifier is a depressive type. Wow. Oh, you're kidding, you guys. There's also a shared psychotic disorder. An individual who is in a close relationship with someone who has an already established delusion also develops a delusion. The delusion is similar in content to the delusion believed by the person who had the already established delusion. The condition is not due to the physiological effects of a substance or of a general medical condition and is not better accounted for by different psychotic disorder, such as schizophrenia or a mood disorder with psychotic features. See, you can have a mood disorder with psychotic features. You can have psychotic disorders due to a general medical condition. That's the presence of prominent hallucinations or delusions. The history, physical examination, or laboratory results suggest that the symptoms are the direct physiological result of a general medical condition. The condition doesn't occur only during a course of delirium. All right, then we've got the substance-induced psychotic disorder, the psychotic disorder not otherwise specified. And I already read what those are. Obviously, right, it's one doing drugs or doing so many drugs, they have psychotic disorders. And the unspecified is they just don't know what's causing it, type thing. So you guys, I'm all done with this schizophrenia talk. Raider hopped out, so I just read a little bit more. But next time will be chapter 6, anxiety and the anxiety disorders. That's a really big problem in the world. Some people have it so bad they get sick before they go on stage, you know. But if anybody would like to, you know, help me buy a litter or get a bag of kitten chow or whatever, that's what I use the money for on my Cash App, Paper Cut Tina, or my PayPal, Dakota Dame 0627. My mother helps me, but she doesn't have as many funds anymore. And I basically, I'm going to say it right here, I'm broke till I get anything from her. I try to stock up on, you know, litter and cat food and the guinea pig stuff. But I think he's on his last year. I mean, he seems pretty darn healthy. I thought I'd have to put him down by spring when it was winter. But no. Hi, Mary Jane. Thanks, everybody. So I don't think Raider's here. I'm going to go ahead and end my live, I think. Yeah, the anxiety disorder will be interesting to hear. Is Becca still live, you guys? She's talking about mental disorders too tonight. If she's still going, since Raider isn't here, I'll just end my live. It'll be an hour and a half long. But I can't tell. Could somebody check for me? Cat litter has gone up. I know, it's awful. It's for a small box. It's used to be $8.50. Now it's $11. Flipping ridiculous. The kittens are older now, so if I run out of kitten chow, they can eat the adult food at least. So that's a good thing. I don't know Becca's channel. Oh, she's Tattooed Angel 2229. I could go check. I could put a little tune on and go check myself. I'll do that. Okay? And I'll be right back. This one's called Fog Mist by Track Tribe. We'll see what this one's like. I'll be right back. I'll check and see how long she's been live, if she's still live. Interesting. God, that's scary. That's scary. All right, I'll be right back. Wow. Oh my God, it's still going. Oh Lord. Okay, let me stop it before it goes again. Boom. Oh. Well, I hopped in and said hi. Her program's about an hour and a half too. She's ending now, so maybe I'll stay on. Is the music still going, you guys? Hi, Sandra Ernest. Hi, everybody. I said hi to her, saw the cute little Shih Tzu puppy. Oh my gosh, just brown with some black. Adorable, adorable, adorable. Yeah, thank you for checking, you guys, over there. Oh gosh, I gotta take some Tylenol. Uh, would anyone like to come up? It's Tuesday. Sherry, Wild Angel, right? Flew to New York today. Now, I'm assuming she's still there. Or, I mean, I'm assuming she's probably there now. Because yeah, she left from Iowa. So, she's probably exhausted, but she'll probably start filming tomorrow or maybe tonight. But I need to grab some Tylenol and I'll be back. I'll play the next little song on here. I'm going to put the link in and see if someone would like to come up for panel, okay? Angel is still live. Yeah, well, I was over there and she read Artsy's comment that said Paper Cut was wondering if you're still live. And she said, I am, but I'm about to end it. So I said hello and said her puppy was cute, stuff like that. She saw that I said hello. She acknowledged me. And so I'll go a little longer because I have the energy. But thank you. Yeah, the puppy was just too cute. I put a too cute in chat. All right, I'm going to get some Tylenol and get my ergonomic pillow out for tonight. I'll be with you, okay? Don't go anywhere. I'll put some music on and then put my link in and then go get Tylenol in that order. Okay, this I think I played yesterday. Yeah, I did. The Riffs for Days, riffs, like riffs as in guitar riffs, was by Track Tribe. I played that when I talked about Hell's Angel stuff. Wonder Why was earlier. And this one is 12 grams. See what this one's like. Goodness gracious. That had to have been the weirdest song I've ever heard. Well, next to Carrots. Yeah. Look at the kitties in the stardust. Put them in the thing. Cute. Oh my goodness. Well, I could do a couple of true crime things. I could. All right, let me look up a couple of true crime things while I play the next song, you guys. Okay. See what the next one is. This one's called Dance Electric by Track Tribe. Let's see what this one's like while I look on here at something, okay? Ooh, sugar snap. That's bizarre. Okay, I'll play the next one, okay, you guys? I'm still finding what I want to talk about. Okay, I found something. We'll just let this song end, okay? Thank you, Relentless. Hit that like. Thanks, you guys. I only have 13 watching. That's not very much for me. That's okay. Don't go away. I'm going to cover this catfish and murder. Coffee House True Crime right there on the far left. Oh my God. This sounds a tad reggae-ish, doesn't it? I'm going to turn the camera off and take some of my meds. Goodness gracious, you guys. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make the screen bigger. And I'm going to read this again. And I'm going to show parts of Coffee House True Crime's Catfish Show. I mean, the whole thing, but I'm going to stop it every 15 seconds like I do. Say a few words and resume it. He's really good. Shout out to him. His name's Adrian. He's from Britain, but grew up in Seattle. He travels all over, and he's got a lot of subs. He has beautiful pictures and content. And you guys will become as addicted to his show, if you haven't heard of this, as I am. I've seen every single episode, except I've got to catch up on the last 3 or 4. Okay, so this is copyright disclaimer. I already read it in the beginning, but I'm going to read it again. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purpose such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachings, and scholarship and research. All right. Hold on a second. Yeah, it's the Coffee House True Crime Show. So I'm going to do it next time because my drunken fucking stupid ass ex and his son think they're going to put my address on Craigslist to sell a bike. I don't want every Tom, Dick, and Harry to come here looking at a bike. I'm so upset. So apparently he's going to move now. That's fine and dandy. He can go, not help us with rent. It's hell anyway. It's hell freaking anyway. So I'm going to end my live. So uncaring. So uncaring. You know, men don't care. I mean, yeah, men go through things these days, but not like women. Us women are the ones that aren't very safe anymore. My daughter's 20. All right. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. You subscribe to Coffee House True Crime. It's really, really good show. All right. Bye, you guys. I love you. And probably see you tomorrow. Thanks for learning about schizophrenia with me and hearing about how to be happy and try to live in the present moment, which I'm going to try to do tonight. Yeah, it's always like this, fucking up and down. You see why I had a stroke 3 years ago? You see why? I see why. Thank you. I'm on meds, so I won't have another one. All right. I love you. If you want to help me at all, I have a Cash App and PayPal. And I'll see you next time. I love you guys. Thanks for coming to PCT is Extreme. I'm going to take this off. And talk to you later. Bye for now.